DNVR Bets Daily, RK and Professor Dre.
We have a remix here? What's going on? You created the remix? What's
some of the fans came through with the remix,
Oh my goodness.
Throwing down their own beats on this. And Dre,
Wow.
it's once again ice cold in here. And as I said once before, I'm sliding down a slippery slope, and I can't get any traction. I'm going the other way.
What an amazing graphic. That's incredible.
So it should have been like icicles on the dollars, though, based on my metaphor, but that's okay. Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is freezing in here. The betting gods
what happened.
Giveth, and the betting gods taketh away. And nothing has ever been more poetic in terms of the betting gods take a thing away than me going 5-2 last week, flexing on it, and then going 2-5 this week. Just a perfect turnaround. It's a tough scene in here. And Daryl, you're asking what I'm doing. I'm trying to protect my eyes. It's so cold because I'm so cold betting, and I'm sliding down a slippery slope. That's why I have the goggles on. This is the proper eyewear for my current situation.
Yeah, I mean, what really got us was the UFC.
Yep.
We were close, and yet so far we thought the Edson Barbosa was a terrible decision.
We didn't think that. We knew
it. I think everyone agrees on that mostly. I haven't seen anyone that stood by that decision. That's kind of the consensus. Barbosa did what we thought he'd do. He took some tough shots. It was a little bit slippery slope there for a minute, but it ended up going exactly how it needed to go for us until the judges completely blew it. The upset pick of Anders, while that Jotko didn't win in great fashion, that was up for grabs. Anders just didn't, as you said in text with me while we were watching the fight, his game plan wasn't diverse enough. And after a while, he tired himself out trying to do the same thing over and over and neglecting to get the takedown on Jotko. But what really was devastating in so many ways, two of my picks, and just on a personal level for how you feel for the man, was the main event. Walt Harris taking his time, finding the opening, pouncing on Overeem, opening him up. Overeem somehow withstands the barrage, gets up, kicks him, gets him back against the wall, and it looks like, okay, Walt Harris is about to finish him. We were about 2 minutes into the first round. My under 1.5 rounds was going to look perfect as well. And in a move of self-defense, I've watched this over and over. It haunts me. It is the ultimate bad beat we have had since we've done this show 3 weeks in. Overeem in the ultimate just act of self-defense, almost like a reflex with a backhand like this, like please get away, somehow manages to trip Walt Harris up, pounces on him, and the fight was his. He tired out Harris in the second round. Once Harris came out in the third, it was kind of over, and Overeem got him with a phenomenal kick and then ended him on the ground. Those 3 picks kind of swung the entire week for me. I went 7-8 somehow because the Bundesliga, of all things, really saved my week with a 4-1. But just a shame, man. The UFC, our new love and passion.
Would you say that the Bundesliga was a boon to your weekend?
It sure was. I would absolutely say that, yes.
Well, I didn't have any Bundesliga picks, at least publicly. I followed you on a few, which was nice. Thanks for that. And goodness gracious, 1-2 on the KBO, 1-3 on the UFC. But man, I look at that and I'm like, okay, Barbosa, screwed. He flat out got 100%. Screwed.
Yes.
And Walt Harris, what's the word I'm looking for? A fluke.
Total fluke. Total.
So if those two things flip, I have a 3-2 weekend on my hands. I just got my confidence back, Dre. because
I would have
was
been 10-5. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with
yeah.
you.
I mean, I'm thinking I was on the wrong side of things. I don't really think I was on the wrong. I mean, I definitely was on the wrong side on a few of these things, but now I'm feeling like I'm fine. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay.
It
And
went how we thought it would. Our thinking was correct. We just had some flukes and bad judges.
yep.
Happens. It happens. That's the beauty of sports betting. If we didn't enjoy, if we were just trying to truly hunt value, which is how I can make it seem sometimes, we'd play the stock market. We wouldn't be betting on sports. The beauty of betting on sports is this, it giveth and it taketh away.
Why not both, Dre? Why not both? Stock market and bet. Just bets on bets on bets.
Let me get back over 500 with my record, and then I'll think of the stock market.
Man, it seems like just yesterday I was sitting pretty at like 13-7. But
yeah, yep, that's right. That was heater day. You guys can find that in our podcast feed. Sign up and give us a nice review on iTunes.
Yeah, we would really love that.
Yeah,
good call,
great.
Dre.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make our way out of here quickly, though. Big shout out to Munken.
Gladbach, yes. Who my advisor? Shout out to the Cover 2 podcast. They do great work on a German football podcast. They told me
American football,
but it is in Germany. They do the pods in English when I'm on as a guest, but typically it's in German. Just one of the many world contacts I'm tapping into to give you guys all the insights.
I've been on that podcast too. Don't act like those are your exclusive.
No, they mention you a lot, and I wonder, they sure seem to like me. I think Ryan hasn't been on for years, and he's not getting Bundesliga picks. But they had told me.
That's a European bias right there.
I think so.
I'm calling BS.
It's about time that worked into my favor. They did tell me, Gladbach, a little shaky on the road, but we like this pick. Well, there's no fans. I didn't even think about this until it went through. But no fans, of course. Who cares about the bad road team now that we have no fans? So another inefficiency to mind there.
Andre, I turned that game on 6 minutes. No, sorry. I turned that game on 10 minutes into the game, and Mönchengladbach was already up 2-0. I was like, wow.
It's pretty amazing.
This is insane.
It was nice.
Anyways.
You know what happened, Ryan? Dortmund has this player, Haaland, who's been just a sensation. He was acquired during the winter window, and he has had this amazing ability to score the opening goal, like basically every game he's been there. He was plus 360 to score the opening goal in the game that Dortmund won 4-0. That was 2 wins for me because I had Dortmund and I had the over 3.5 against Schalke 04. Derby time. He was a plus 360 to score the first goal. I felt like, I'm already giving out 10 picks. I don't need to add a plus 360. But sure enough, he was the first guy to score. I couldn't believe it. That would have been an amazing bet to have on the slate. I regret it immensely.
That would have been quite the call, Dre.
Yes.
One thing that is really nice about betting with DraftKings Sportsbook is despite our losses, and unfortunately not the Barboza loss, but especially the Walt Harris loss.
Yeah.
They just reimbursed us for that.
Yep,
like they turned around and said, hey, tough loss, what can you do? And then they gave us a free bet. And that is of the exact value that we placed on that game. And that goes for everyone, and it's not me and Dre getting the special treatment here. Right. And this was something, just honestly, that I didn't consider when legal betting came to Colorado was these type of perks, because
it's so true.
In a hypothetical world where potentially maybe in some, alternate universe, you have a bookie. Well, that guy's he's not throwing you these promos.
No, he is not.
He's not like, hey, you lost the Harris fight. Hey, you know what, man? Here's a free bet. That's not how the down the. I assume if I had ever interacted with, that's not how the down the street bookie would be working. Or in the bathroom of the local bar or whatever, wherever he may be posted up. But that's not how that works. I'm
not sure that was a bookie, Ryan. I fear that you were really risking things before. Yeah, they're giving you like their upset pick. They're giving you crappy advice like we do. We at least do that for free, and then on top of that, you get all these DraftKings bonuses.
Yeah. Also, that wasn't my story. It was actually the story of someone
Oh,
who
no.
commented on our Broncos podcast. No joke. And we're telling us a story about one time how they came to Denver, and I'm not going to name the name of the bar, but they said they went to a bar and like heard whispers, and they
No
were, and
way.
I actually wasn't the bathroom; it was the basement. They're like, oh, if you want to get in on some of these games, they're watching like World Cup or something.
No
You could go
way.
down in the basement, and there's a bookie.
Oh my God.
Super. I mean, you
Wow.
should appreciate that. That's good stuff right
That's
there.
amazing. That's incredible. That's some real bootleg betting right there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Anyways, you get these great bonuses. There's one. I mean, I feel like I get an email from DraftKings every single
Mhm.
day with some great. Today, you got a 50% odds boost on your KBO bets or your ping pong bets. Sorry,
Yeah.
table tennis bets. I
Table
know the ping
and
pong,
the
the
table
table tennis,
tennis, you can stream through their app and bet like in game live.
and that's what I was going to get at next. You can
That's
now
so
do that with the
crazy.
KBO too.
Whoa. I
Yes.
noticed you could do that with the Bundesliga as well, I believe. So this is pretty wild.
What an
Wow, that's
incredible
beautiful.
addition to the app for
My God.
DraftKings Sportsbook. So, anyways,
Yeah.
if you go, you sign up, you use the code DNVR, there's lots of great bonuses. You know, the sign up bonuses are great, but it's really once you're
Yeah.
in the
Right.
door that the bonuses really help you out. I mean, last week they just said, hey, here's $5, bet it on whatever you want. Like,
Right.
no
Right.
strings attached.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and all these UFC fights have been amazing with the boost and protections they give you. So yeah, for sure. Well said.
the last really awesome perk of being a member of DraftKings Sportsbook, and of course a member
Yes.
of DNVR. That's a ow, stop it. Anyways,
Wow,
another
that was
great
amazing.
bonus of being with DraftKings and DNVR is the DNVR specials. And these are ideas and markets that we come up with. We send them, hey, we want to talk about this. They say, okay, here are the odds on that. And then they open it up for you guys to bet on it. And today we have our last figure here to discuss of our very first batch of DNVR specials. Allie, if you don't mind taking that one without the sound, please don't blow out our eardrums this time. That explains how the fans, not that one, the fans can get to the DNVR specials on DraftKings Sports. There it is. And you guys can't see her, but we can see
So
Allie,
you
and
go
it's
to
hilarious.
NFL. Oh, that's amazing. Player totals. And then you scroll all the way there to the right, the Broncos specials. That was outstanding.
Yeah, I assume you explained it, Andre. I don't know though because my eardrums have been blown out and I can't hear anything.
Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just NFL player totals, and then you scroll all the way to the right, and there's the Broncos specials, which are the DNVR specials.
Exactly. So let's get into our final one here that we saw a quick tease for, and this is a fun one. We're calling it the Great Colorado Running Back Challenge, and it is a bet where you get to combine two players. Well, I guess you get to choose here. More yards from scrimmage, Andre, Christian McCaffrey on his own, or the combination of Philip Lindsay and Austin Eckler. You get to take all of their rushing yards, all of their receiving yards, and combine them together versus Christian McCaffrey's rushing and receiving.
Yeah, pretty interesting. And there's the odds that, no, I mean, I knew this would be favored towards Eckler and Lindsay. Of course, it's two guys, and they, while McCaffrey was insane and had 2,300 yards last year, Phil and Eckler easily combined for over 2,700.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, we know how Philip Lindsay might not be seen highly by everyone. There, especially with Gordon coming, there's a little, looking down upon Phil. Let's see what DraftKings puts the line at. And you have this minus 167, which I still think is phenomenal value here for the two underrated, undersized Colorado running backs there.
Yeah, I absolutely love the value here. I really think that this should be in the 200s, maybe even more for Philip Lindsay and Austin Eckler. Again, you're getting two players, and I hate talking about this stuff. I'll touch wood before I even do it, and I'll do it afterwards as well. But when you're talking about making money here, you have to consider all the factors. And one of the factors here is injury. If Christian McCaffrey, who has been unbelievably durable in his career, but if he misses a couple games, he's out of this race. I mean, it's over.
Done.
So that's just something that I'm keeping in mind. I hate thinking of that. Like I said, I'll touch wood again, but
Sure.
it's just something you have to keep in mind. You got two guys there, and your chances of those guys staying healthy again are much higher. Right. Of at least keeping one of them healthy. So that's a big part here. And then I think just the Panthers just gave Christian McCaffrey a truckload of money. And I think they maybe, now that they're paying him this much money, want to protect their investment a little bit on the long term. I think it's dangerous how many touches they have given this man in the first couple of years of his career. I think they need to dial it back a little bit, and I think internally they know that too. You got a new coaching staff there who doesn't feel like, he's scratching and clawing for his job. And I think they're just going to say, hey, look, you're safe. Don't, just because Christian's the only thing working on offense doesn't mean you need to give him 30 plus touches, 35 touches, anything crazy. Right. Keep it to a realistic amount, and let's build this team up, because if they're realistic, they should know they're not going to be a playoff team this year anyway. So let's cool out a little bit with Christian, because I think they one day plan on just moving him to wide receiver. But they probably want to delay that as much as they possibly can.
I mean, 403 touches last year. That's the unsustainable part. And when you have two guys who are going to get you, like, even if Phil's underutilized a little bit, even if Eckler isn't getting as many dump offs from Phillip Rivers, because Rivers isn't there anymore, and that kind of became the Chargers' offense at points last year. Like, oh, Phil can't do anything else, so he's just dumping it off to Austin. I still think you're looking at two guys who will easily combine for like 450 touches to McCaffrey's 350 even, and that's if he's utilized a ton. So yeah, it just seems like the math, you're getting gifted at least 500-yard advantage for just a minus 167. And I was just looking back at some of our other DNVR specials. DraftKings thinks that it's more likely that Christian McCaffrey has more yards combined than Phil and Eckler, than, say, Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy having more receptions than Cortland Sutton, or more touchdowns than Cortland Sutton. Which,
it's interesting. I love this. And one thing that I want to point out is that we've talked about how, betting should be fun. You shouldn't be looking at this as your secondary revenue stream for, your mortgage on your house or whatever. It's all about just, for me, it's all about just having fun. And like, you can make a KBO game fun by getting a little bit of action on it and having a dog in the race. Well, I also look at that with these prop bets. Which prop bets are going to be fun to follow? You don't think it's to be fun to be scrolling on your phone on, whatever app you use and being like, oh, Philip Lindsay's got 87 yards today. Oh, Eckler's got 113. You go over, look at McCaffrey. McCaffrey's only got 80. Right. Like, here we go. We're building a lead. That's going to be fun for you. So those are all, that's my last take on this, is just this stuff's supposed to be fun. We talked about the Sutton and Jeudy touchdowns in this light too. It's like the most fun part about that one is the Chiefs can only win one game a week, and Sutton and Jeudy can technically score unlimited touchdowns in any given week.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And then with McCaffrey, and you mentioned it, new coaching staff, I really think not just the fact that they don't have pressure to maximize him and have to kind of make him the bell cow, but it's going to be a different offense where they probably aren't going to be geared towards giving McCaffrey 400 touches in a season. So it just seems like, I'd anticipate this line going up by the time we get to the season.
Yeah, totally. So get in on that now. Make sure you go over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR when you go over there. This is a fun one. We got a lot of fun ones, and we are working on our second batch. We're cooking up our second batch of
Yes.
DNVR specials. We'll throw those in the oven, and hopefully they'll be out soon. And we'll have a whole new slate of fun, kind of quirky Denver-focused bets that you can get in on, and you can only get in on at DraftKings Sportsbook because they've been an amazing partner to us here at DNVR. All right, Trey. Well, there's only one way to get back going. You got to get back on the horse and try to get back into over 500 territory here. So why don't you go ahead and give me your picks of the night? I assume they'll be on the KBO.
That is a fair assumption. Very, very well done. Yeah, the KBO here. Let's see what fun games we have. Oh, I'm taking all the overs. That's what I'm doing. The thing that really kills me about this weekend is when we make our weekend picks. Again, I already picked 10 games. I'm not trying to, go overboard beyond having already gone overboard. Like I did. So I'm not picking Sunday games for the KBO as well. And that's where all the overs hit. So I mean, our strategy's right. We just the one day where we don't really have bets, things didn't work out, but that's fine. I'm ready to, get right back on the horse again. I'm going to tell you Wyverns Heroes scares me a little bit, and Dinos Bears scares me a little bit looking at these pitching matchups.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking. I'm trying to. I'm
this
a little
is why
gun
I
shy.
got to go first.
I'm
no,
just a little
you can't
gun shy right now. I'm just a little gun shy right now. All right, I'm taking Twins over 4.5. Team total over 4.5. And then I'm going to take the over in Wyverns and Heroes. Wyverns and Heroes over 8.5. Nice little value there. I like the low number there. And I think the Heroes are just heating up. This is a team that went to the oh gosh, what's it called? The Korean series. They went to the Korean series just last season, I believe, if not the year before that. They are a good squad, and they just haven't found their footing yet. And I think they might have found it the other night against the Twins. So watch out for the Heroes. I think they're going to heat up here. And while I'm at it, I might as well take the Heroes -1.5.
Beautiful.
To ride my own little wave there. So those are my three. And
I'll get specific too, because I've been getting a little too wild. But you have an and, so please add.
Oh, I was going to say, our buddy Chris Hill says, what should we use the profit boost on? For me, my strategy on these profit boosts, and like we mentioned earlier, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you the opportunity to get a 50% profit boost on any bet tonight. So the way I like to do this is I don't like to get greedy. I like to look at the board and see what I like. And then I look at the bet that I have with the best odds, and I choose that. Because as soon as, at least in my experience, as soon as you start being like, well, this is plus 450, and I can get a 50% profit boost on that, or whatever, that's when you start just throwing these things away. So I'm going to throw it on the Heroes at -1.5. It's nothing crazy, plus 114, but I like to play it safe and smart on those.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I like to kind of hedge and use those profit boosts towards more of the upsets, maybe not a plus 400, but if I see a fancy little upset. But I think your point is well taken as well, because it's free money. So just to add that to the betting budget is a beauty, and that's kind of a smart way to go about that as well. Okay, so I'm going to get a little more specific. I'm taking over Eagles Wiz.
Okay.
And we're going to be exact here. That is a 9. So we're taking the over. I'm not touching Twins Lions. I'm going to take Giants Tigers over 11. That's climbed since 10.5. I'm still taking the over there for Giants Tigers of 11. You know what, Ryan? No, I can't do it. Bears, Dinos, despite the low ERAs from these pitchers, I'm taking the over. I believe in these offenses too much. Still taking the over 10 there.
Okay, can we get
So
a quick
taking those three.
recap from you? I feel like you're bouncing all over. So how many total bets do you have here tonight?
3.
Oh, okay.
Three.
Okay, so you backed off a little bit.
I did. I
Okay,
got
like
specific. I'm zeroing in on Eagles, Wiz over, Tigers, Giants over, Dinos, Bears over.
Dinos and Bears. I hope that you get that one right because
Me too.
I just don't feel confident in it. And I like that you had the balls to pull the trigger. So I hope you get rewarded for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh man. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for us today. I think I got a good feeling, Dre. I got a good feeling. Tomorrow, we might be back to sunshine and rainbows on this podcast. And for that, I'm going to thank the betting gods in advance. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight on DNVR Bets Daily. Keep an eye out for us. We are going to be here at 5 o'clock this week. We're going to give the 5 o'clock the old test drive, see how we like it. And then we'll see how you guys respond to it. Let us know what you think of the new time. Get us that iTunes review if you enjoy this show. And otherwise, we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. As you guys know, we're working with DraftKings Sportsbook, so make sure you download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use the code DNVR when you sign up. For a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. The deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough and restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.